about that more. Welcome back to Grandma Worldwide Radio. This is Unfiltered. I'm Ian James.
I'm Jay Scanlon.
Featuring Marvell Jerome.
And today I'm going to let you know that I am unified with all of Western Pennsylvania, not just Southwestern Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh! I'll say Western Pennsylvania. All right. And there's a little bit out to the east, but you're stretching. You're stretching it.
No south?
I mean, we are Southwestern Pennsylvania. Unless you're going like Greene County.
I said the west.
Which Greene County, I guess I don't. Yeah, that's a little different. That's like West Virginia, Pennsylvania.
That's stretching too. But
this started off wildly. We're gonna talk about the NBA, the NBA Finals. The Warriors coming back and winning Game 2. DeMarcus Cousins out here having a big game out there. I think it was it was 11, 10, and 6. I think was the exact stat line. 11 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Yeah, man. You know what the other thing is? 20. I think it was 28. 28 minutes. And also, Kawhi Leonard I think scored like 30-something points. I'll have to look up the exact stat line, but if they lost that
34
game, 34 points out of
14 rebounds, 3 assists.
To me, that means that the rest of your teammates didn't do enough help.
Those 5 assists on
Kyle Lowry?
No.
Who?
It was Pascal Siakam.
Well, he had the big first game. He was the big guy in the first game. Everybody was all about Siakam in the first game.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce
it. Siakam.
Yeah, Siakam.
All right, let's get it.
Jeremy Lin,
With Jeremy, yeah.
We're not doing this on the visual podcast. Y'all gonna have some fun on the audio podcast a little later, though. But no, we ain't doing that here. But we are gonna have a poll somewhere about how many people knew Jeremy Lin was a Raptor.
Who knew that he was a Raptor?
But yeah, like I said, we're here. It's the finals. It's 1-1. We're about to go to Game 3. We're going back to the Bay Area. Again, people forget this is the last NBA Finals in Oakland. No matter what happens, like they're going to San Francisco next year, which is a small move. But think about how New Jersey feels about not having the Brooklyn Nets.
Mm-hmm.
This is way bigger than that. Like this is way bigger than that. Like Oakland's losing all their teams outside of the baseball team, which is the baseball team outside of Moneyball. Doesn't really. It's not the same. That's a little different.
They don't bring in any revenue.
But the baseball team doesn't show the city the same way as the football team and the basketball team does, especially the football team. Football team is really the city. I ain't gonna start. Raiders and Oakland. It's like no matter how you feel about the Los Angeles Raiders, which is also a big thing. The Raiders are the team of California. They're leaving California. That's a little different than moving back and forth between LA and Oakland. So
I mean, it's still kind of close.
Oh no! I mean, it's a 2-hour drive to LA to Las Vegas. It's a quick drive. It's quicker to do that than to go to Philly. So yeah, it's still close for the fans to be there, and it's really one of the bigger Latino teams outside like the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Raiders moving out. The Warriors are going across the Bay, which is still like a 3-hour drive with the traffic in that city. So like it'd be a minute for them fans to go across and get there anyway. I think the 2 baseball stadiums are closer between the Giants and the Athletics. But yeah, the Athletics will be the only team in the city limits. San Jose will have more teams at this point. If you think about it, San Jose has the hockey team. And I think if you count where the San Francisco 49ers are, they're closer to the metropolitan area of San Jose than they are San Francisco. They don't play in San Francisco, remember? They play in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like Oakland's going to be out here. It's going to be different. Oakland won't be the same. I know this is weird, but I feel like some cities' relevance and culture sometimes are based around their sports teams and like the things they have. Oakland's going to be losing a lot of its light if you look at it. Like, what are major American cities that we look at that don't have any sports teams that we really care about? That don't have any sports teams like at all.
Connecticut.
That's a state though. It's a whole state.
They don't got no sports team.
They got the WWE. That's the home of the WWE.
That's the WWE, so they do kind of got a sports team thing going on.
They go everywhere.
That's true.
They're like the Globetrotters.
They're like the Globetrotters. Yeah.
They still got Harlem at heart.
On their jerseys.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like that's the thing. Like there's some college towns, but we don't really care about them. Like like I feel like that's the real reason we care about Birmingham, is we know that's where Alabama's at.
Yeah.
And that's actually Tuscaloosa. So now it's like Birmingham, Alabama might be the biggest town that doesn't have a major sports team that we care about. And that's in Alabama. And maybe like Austin, Texas. And that's because like Austin, Texas has been like that new boom city in America. Like everybody knows, like between the music scene and stuff where they're like maybe Austin. But outside of that, most big cities that have no sports teams, we don't care.
Yeah.
Like I would say those are probably the two biggest cities where I can think of that don't have any major sports teams in America. Where I could say it's probably Birmingham, Alabama, and Austin, Texas. Y'all got any other city y'all think of that y'all
I
care
can't
about so
even-
much that have no sports teams?
I can't even think of like most of the cities do have like a sports team or something rocking with them.
Like I said, and it's most of the college towns I don't care about that much. We don't care about Norman, Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness.
No, we don't care about South Bend, Indiana.
Where are you on the map?
Oh, the Golden Hurricanes, Toledo. You talking about the? Oh no, you talking about Toledo University? I don't know. But no, like I said, there's places we just don't care about when if they don't have a sports team. Like there's some outliers like maybe Hershey, like stuff like that have like big things. Like some cities got turned into shit because of Orlando. Like Orlando was a shit before Disney. Then they happened to start getting. Then Disney forced them to get a sports team because that was like Disney making sure. Same thing with Anaheim.
Yeah, the Magic. I mean,
Same thing with the Anaheim. The Ducks were literally called the Mighty Ducks because of the movie. Disney, and because the Anaheim is where the park is in California too. But all the Anaheim teams outside of the Rams were moved there because of Disney. Rams just wanted to get away from black people the first time. I ain't gonna start.
Oh,
Yeah, they didn't want to play in the Coliseum. Anyway, that's what happened the first time in California. I can't start. They in Inglewood now, so they making up for it.
so it's fair to say that Antonio Brown won't be putting up as many numbers as he did here in Pittsburgh.
Oh no. I mean,
okay.
not. We always said that. Is that where you want to go with this real quick? You want to talk about Antonio?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah. But,
Oh, yeah.
no, I mean, and also, remember, we got the greatest show online, the Fantasy Football League that I just opened up. We always talk about it on
GM
the
Radio.
show. Are you in the fantasy football?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna be in the league. We're going back to 12 teams hopefully. So you'll there's open spots already. So
Got some open spots.
Show me an
Looking,
email.
we're trying
We got
to
that done.
get some new people in.
So right now it's $10 a person. Brad's trying to make it more than that. Brad is open. Like I'm fine with that. I'm not going past $20 because my issue is if we go past $20, then I'm gonna need everybody's money before the draft. Because last year I didn't get everybody's money before the draft, which for $10 a person I could live with for a little bit. But as soon as it's like I got like if we finish the year and somebody's like, oh, I need 200, whatever the 12. What would what's 12 times 20? And then probably
$240.
okay. So then we'll probably we'll give the second place person 40, and then after that,
Whoa! Is
What?
well, no, because last year the second place person got what?
10 times 12 is 120. So you're saying 120. So the second place got $20.
I think second place got double of whatever he put in.
Sam!
What?
Nick's
Oh,
hurting
so you
in
just
that
get
league.
double whatever you put in.
Changed
Yeah, you
second?
get like an extra 20. All right.
Oh no, this league is about winning.
I get it.
Okay,
but
so
second and third. Is
Oh, there was
still-
no money for third last.
do you think we need to put like a
Hey,
a
it's just
trophy or
winning.
belt in this?
What is it? Oh,
We trying to get a trophy for this?
Third might get $20.
Third.
Third gets a double up.
Oh.
Second is supposed to get a little and first gets the t-shirt.
And a team, hold up, nigga. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't giving me enough money to
You
go out
like
and get
t-shirts? Shut
Yeah,
up.
you got that T-shirt.
I'm the champion, and I'm like, hold up, because I'm like, I'd be paying for my own damn shirts.
Yeah.
oh shit.
The other couple dollars is paid for your shirt.
I'm out here like, remember that I am the returning champion.
There you go.
Yeah.
I am the returning champion this year for the third time. Only 3-time champion, only 2-time champion. Remember that. Only back-to-back champion.
Knocked out, but
That's because James hasn't won.
I've been close, but it's.
Have you even made a championship?
Oh shit.
I thought I made it to the. Yeah, I thought I did.
we're not going down this road.
The Old Town Road.
All right.
But Antonio Brown, I think this will be the first year that Antonio Brown's not going to be a first-round pick in most drafts.
No, he won't.
Fantasy drafts.
He will not
I'll
have
give him
a
like a
1,000-yard season.
You don't think he'll have a 1,000-yard season?
No, I got him depicted around maybe like 865
Are we talking about like receiving or total? Because he might still be out here,
total.
even without the kick return yards and stuff.
Total.
Kick it. What?
Now,
You're
if they put him
crazy.
there
No.
with kick return yards, I could see him having 1,000 yards. But more than likely, they're gonna have some young rookie back there returning kicks.
Smart. And then, well, I don't know because John Gruden's not the normal coach. Then they also got the guy, the other guy from the Patriots. That's but a lot of people, everybody, all wide receivers from the Patriots, I always stick with. I don't know how good you are when you leave the Patriots. Defensive players are a little different, but like when it's offense, I'm like, oh no, you have to prove it to me.
Yeah, you always have to prove that.
And everybody from the Steelers that leave, they don't do so hot
I mean,
on the next team.
Porter won Defensive Player of the Year when he left. Flex got that Super Bowl when he left.
Oh, snap. See, I didn't know that.
Let me say some. I don't know. It matters where you go when you leave. Emmanuel Sanders too got a Super Bowl when he left too.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
So,
There are some players.
Yeah.
Like
You
Mike
might.
Wallace will be the one where I look at him like, yeah, you didn't do that. Mendenhall went to the Cardinals and lost.
Oh, he
everything.
didn't. He lost
Lost
everything.
everything. So it is a two.
Brian Leftwich went around and he.
Brian
was 2 weeks
Leftwich was a little different. He came to the Steelers to end his career.
yeah.
His career with
He
Jacksonville
was
was
in the
the
Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was the high point.
I think he went back. I thought he went to the Colts.
after here.
Yeah.
And that's the Jeremy Lin question.
He's a Jeremy
Yeah.
Lin.
Yeah, he went to, like, if he went to the Colts, I didn't know about that.
Where's Jeremy
We're gonna have a shirt. But
Yeah.
on the other side of the argument, so again, I always said that I don't think he was going to do both. Antonio Brown. I thought he was either going to get 10 touchdowns and not get 1,000 yards, or get 1,000 yards and not get 10 touchdowns. I thought he would still do one. I don't think he's not a scrub. It's just that
He'll get his touchdowns.
the problem isn't even Antonio Brown. Derek Carr doesn't like throwing the ball unless you're like open. He doesn't chuck it up. Ben chucks it up. Ben, no matter how
Give him
anybody
a
feels
fuck.
about Ben will chuck it up. He doesn't care if there's 2. He don't care if there's 3.
He's got a whole team
4.
back there. Don't give a fuck.
5.
Right.
Everybody could be back
And
there.
that's a lot of Antonio's yards or plays that should have never probably happened. In the opposite sense, Derek Carr isn't going to do that much. Honestly, this is what's going to happen. Both John Gruden and Brown's going to yell at him and tell him to do it, and he might do it for a couple weeks. And then after the 3rd or 4th interception, it's going to stop. So we might see a good, great Antonio Brown for a little bit as long as they're winning. But if they aren't winning, which obviously they didn't do last year, if they're not winning and Derek Carr gets scared, and I'm assuming you don't think the Raiders are going to do well next season.
No.
Then,
Not
yeah,
at
in
all.
the sense if they're not going to do well, yeah, this ain't going to work. Because Derek Carr's going to get scared as if he's not doing well. That's the thing about Derek Carr. I don't know if he's a bad quarterback because there was the 2-year stretch of when he was amazing and almost won an MVP before he got hurt. He would have won that MVP that year if he didn't get hurt.
Yep.
And now we see him in the light. And now I'm like, if we get MVP level Derek Carr, I don't know what's going to happen. If we're going to get the Derek Carr we've saw in the last couple of years, Derek Carr is going to have a job at the end of the season. And that's why I'm like, Antonio Brown's fine. This season isn't going to be an outlier on his career just because we don't know if Derek Carr is going to have a job after this year. Now, whatever happens after that, yeah, we got to see what's going to be up. Because he was on a pace to pass Jerry Rice's records, and then Jerry Rice's records are a little unattainable. There's some records where I imagine them will be broken, and Jerry Rice is like 40 or 48 touchdowns away from second place when it comes to touchdowns. Like Terrell Owens or Randy Moss is second, but it's like really low. Like it's like I think it's 156 and 153. It's either Terrell Owens and Randy Moss or second and third. I might be flipping who's second and third, but those two are second and third. And Jerry Rice has 198 touchdowns. And I think it's like a 3,000 or 4,000 yard gap between yards when it comes to Jerry Rice and Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, wow.
Because Larry Fitzgerald, I think, just passed both Randy Moss and Terrell Owens recently.
Oh, shit.
But it's still a sick. Larry Fitzgerald's not going to play long enough to be close enough to do it. And he's second.
Probably
He
like 3 more
needs to
years.
switch a team.
3 or 2 more years.
I think the only thing that's close is catches. I think catches is something that could probably happen. I think it might have happened. But catches is a little different. But those two, they aren't going to be broken. And Antonio Brown has literally been on pace to pass that with the Steelers.
Jerry Rice, 197. Randy Moss, 156. Terrell Owens, 153.
So I was right about the second.
Chris Carter, 130.
And that's the gap between. And Chris Carter's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the gap between Chris Carter and Owens. But again, the gap between Randy Moss and Terrell Owens between Jerry is still huge. And again, we know how we feel like And the touchdowns don't make Randy Moss better than Terrell Owens.
Mhm.
It's them two guys will always be argued in that generation. But the gap between Jerry Rice and some of that is because he stayed around a little too long because he's out here playing with the Seahawks and the Raiders for a little bit. None of us needed really, but he did it.
Yeah.
We didn't need cornrows Jerry Rice with the hairline back here.
Holy.
Y'all remember that?
Shit.
Where his hairline started back here
Rice.
when he had the fucking braids?
Rice.
No. So he did that. I'm sure there was at least like a good 20 to 25 touchdowns between those years. So he wasn't bad with the Raiders. I don't remember his career with the Seahawks at all, but he wasn't bad with the Raiders. So he's still got a couple extra, like a decent amount of touchdowns to add to that there. But those records, that's a hard. Again, it's just hard to do.
Yeah.
Other records I feel like could be broken. The rushing records could be broken. I think rushing records can always be broken. A lot of the defensive records can be broken. There's just certain things. Passing records are being broken all the time. But when it comes to receiving yard records, I didn't like, man, it's really hard to stay consistent. And Antonio Brown was on that pace with Ben Roethlisberger. But again, I said no matter what, I think the Steelers are screwed when Ben retires. I don't think the Steelers are the greatest team at picking quarterbacks. We hype them up, but it's really just been Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger and everybody else. No matter how we feel about Cordell Stewart and Tommy Maddox and people like that, these dudes weren't the greatest people.
So you don't give Joshua Dobbs or Rudolph Mason a chance.
What, the Jerry Rice? Well, look at the Oakland ones. Like I said, I think he might have had a decent amount with the Oakland, but I knew it wasn't a lot with the Seahawks. I think he was just trying to be like, remember the R.I.P., but y'all remember Bernie Mac's movie where it was like Mr. 3000? Yeah, that's what Jerry Rice was doing with the Seahawks. He was just trying to get to 200 touchdowns, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
he was trying to go. So he was trying to get. He came to the Seahawks and needed 6 touchdowns, and he only could get 3.
Okay.
And he was. It was just like, I can't come back after this. I'll go get this Dancing with the Stars trophy. But yeah, and again, he's still the only person to get 197. So it's like, I think those 0 and 5 numbers means more to us than they should be sometimes. But no, back to what we were talking about. I'm happy for the update though.
That's fine.
But yeah, no, I think what you said, man, is everybody like really geeked about Joshua Dobbs throwing one good pass when Ben got hurt?
I said Joshua Dobbs or Mason. Either one of them.
I don't give a damn about Mason Rudolph. Y'all can have Mason Rudolph. Like, the Steelers, like, would you ask me the same question 3 years ago about Landry?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. That's my issue with the Steelers.
Landry was trash. He was the garbage. I would have rather took Charlie Batch for the backup in his place.
Charlie Batch would have too.
I mean, he really would have though.
But yeah, no, that's where my confusion was. I'm like, I don't have any hope in Mason Rudolph at all, and Joshua Dobbs might be cool, but I don't trust Tennessee quarterbacks. I haven't trusted Tennessee quarterbacks in years. I don't trust.
Yeah, Colt McCoy was a bust.
That was Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, he was in Texas. And I don't think Colt McCoy. I think Colt McCoy's top 5 backup quarterback in the NFL. Just backup.
Yo, you're all here for. He's all here for the Colt McCoy. He's been here since day one.
Because
Colt McCoy is
backup. Again, I'm not saying starter. I'm just saying backup.
He tore his bicep. Didn't he like tear his like?
Whatever happened in they would. Y'all don't think Texas was going to win that championship game? He got hurt like second play of the championship game.
They would have not.
Nah, he like I don't know. He's just too injury prone.
Oh yeah, but like
that's why he just.
And again, he's as a backup quarterback. I think he's like 3rd or 4th in wins when he has to play, because he's always back. He's been the backup for the Redskins the entire time between RG3 and Kirk Cousins, and now
Yeah,
he's still the backup now.
Well,
Oh,
did he ever heal from that?
What?
Didn't he break his leg or something?
No, that was Alex Smith.
I thought he broke his leg or tore something too.
I'm sure everybody was hurt at one point.
Okay.
But the worst was Alex Smith.
That shit was wild. Yep. That shit was just awful. He was just pretty much done. Like after, like I don't even think he should play anymore.
He probably won't.
Oh no, Alex Smith was trying to come back, but I'm just like, there's like, cause he again, it's just so ominous. The same day as Joe Theismann, same team, same injury. Not the brutalness of it visually, because I feel like when Joe Theismann happened, like just how, because LT did Joe Theismann, right? Yeah, that video, LT never looked like he cared about when he hit people, and LT seemed to be like, I ain't mean to really do that to him. Like you saw it in LT's face, and this is a man who's admitted like he been on drugs the entire time.
Oh,
when you
shit.
like when you get sobered up by what you did to that nigga, like oh, hold up.
I was high when I did that, bro.
Yeah, Colt McCoy broke his fibula.
Let's get your medical expertise. You're gonna tell us how bad breaking your fibula is, right?
It's like whatever. I mean, you're gonna be up in
Speaking
a
of
year.
injuries,
Oh yeah, we didn't get into it. So you're worried. You want to know about what's going on with KD.
does it matter if KD come back?
It matters about if Clay doesn't play. Because Clay has a hamstring injury. I don't know if it's pulled. Clay said at the end of the game basically KD and Klay Thompson were antagonizing Drake after the game.
Mm-hmm.
And while they were antagonizing Drake after the game, which Drake seemed kind of shook, I'm not gonna stud. He said he popped his hamstring, which I think sounds worse than saying you pulled it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Also, KD looked like he was walking better than Clay. And if KD ain't gonna play and he was walking better than Clay, I don't know what to say on that. But again, Iguodala was out here looking like a monster. Iguodala hit a three towards the end of the game that he should have never
yes, he
shot.
did.
Should not have shot that three. There was no reason to shoot that three. It was like 8 seconds left in the shot clock or some shit, and it was just like, yo, I'm just gonna shoot it.
Wide open. He was clear.
He wanted to be Steph Curry for that one
He was
moment.
feeling it.
So and do we believe Draymond's gonna do this again?
He might.
Might.
He might. He might.
What's his name's gonna have a good game? What's his name's prime? Ibaka. They're
Oh.
gonna have a good down
Serge
Sunday.
Ibaka. Yeah.
I've never
And
really been a
Siakam.
big Serge Ibaka fan. I mean, dude could throw hands.
Okay, see.
He throw hands. I've seen that, but I've never been a huge Ibaka person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Hey, again, I've always said Golden State in 6. I'm still rolling with that. Even if Durant
Damn.
comes back, I mean,
You think he will come back? That's guaranteed. You think this whole entire?
I think if it goes, if Toronto wins another game, he's coming back.
Oh, so if they win, he's like, all right, you got to get your.
I
ass
got
out.
Durant at game 4.
That
Game
means
4.
He's gonna
coming
come
back.
back. Oh,
so. You think
okay.
they're gonna lose the first game in Golden State?
Oh, so
Yeah.
you think? All right, so Wednesday's the next game.
It's gonna be a swing, like a swing game.
And I think because that's my thing is they're not gonna if it looks like it's gonna be tight, they're not gonna. But my thing is if Kevin Durant comes back, they win every game from there on, and that's it. Like this was we're done. So but yeah, I think KD, and again, this is all about Thompson. I mean, at this point, because they need Clay. Clay is a threat that helps them keep people off of Curry. If Clay's not out there, then Curry's much less of a factor.
Yeah, he's gonna get double teamed.
And Curry's defense is already a liability. Clay plays the best perimeter defense on the team. So that makes a lot of difference out there if Clay's out there. Again, if Clay's out there, I don't think they need Kevin Durant to win the series, but I think it's going to look a lot uglier. Where I think if Kevin Durant was out there, this would just be like, well, Toronto should have probably never been here, which isn't true. Isn't true at all. The Eastern Conference final. The Eastern Conference was the best playoffs I think I've seen out of the NBA in years. Because for the last decade, we've known exactly what team was coming out the East, and it was whatever team LeBron was on. It was never an option. It was never anything questioned me. And for the West, it's been the same thing since basically the Warriors got on. I mean, probably even a little bit before the Warriors, if you remember some of the teams that were coming out before the Warriors came out.
Yeah.
So I actually am happy for once to see there was some parity in who was going to win the title in the East, or at least win the Eastern Conference championship. That was nice this year.
I thought it was gonna be Boston at first.
I thought it was going to be Milwaukee. So, and it ended up being Toronto. It could have been, and then if you said, and if somebody came in here and said they thought it was going to be the Sixers, I could have respected that too. There were legitimately 4 teams that we thought could have went to the finals this year in the East. That's some parity that the NBA hasn't had in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like I said, the West was never in question to me. I told y'all the same thing from the beginning. Well, it was questioning the idea that I thought the Rockets could. I never thought the Rockets were, but I thought they could. But I told you about how I felt everything else on the other side. Never thought the Blazers were going to do it. Never thought the Nuggets were going to do it. Okay, see, I wasn't worried about none of them teams that were on the other side of the Western Conference bracket.
Yeah.
See, that's Harden's crutch. I swear that's Harden's crutch. He can get to the playoffs. He just can't get to the finals.
I mean,
It's just that.
He just can't get for some
is
odd
it
reason.
Harden or is it Paul? Because I feel like some people choose to crush Harden, some people deserve to go after Paul. Because it's in most questions, a lot of people look at Chris Paul as the best point guard of this generation. I'm not.
That's so hard to say.
And then of this current generation, like where do you cut generation wise? Like, are you counting Chris Paul and Jason Kidd in the same generation?
No.
Then who would be better than Chris Paul in this current generation? Point guard, playing classic point guard, not like the Steph Curry point guard.
Let me see. What's his name?
'Cause Russ-
Crawford is a good,
But is he
good point guard.
Crawford? Yeah,
He's a good point guard.
but that's not Chris Paul.
No, he's flashy. I like Chris Paul because he's flashy, but he's not the type of point guard that you can say he's going to lead you to a championship.
No, yeah, I don't think Crawford is either.
They
but-
might both not.
But I don't. But that type of point guard, I think, needs to start. Like, because the point guards that we're looking at that are doing more, like Kyrie isn't playing a regular point guard.
No, he's like
Russell
more
Westbrook,
point guard,
like no matter
shooting
how many
guard.
triple double Russell Westbrook's playing, he's not playing a normal point guard role. Even though he's averaging more of a 10 rebound or 10 assists, he's not doing it regularly. Steph definitely is not a normal point guard.
Yeah.
I would say like William, Darren Williams was probably the last one, but his career faded real badly.
Oh, it's
Oh yeah, there was
faded
just
too fast.
but like playing the classic point guard role. No, I don't think anybody can be out here winning titles that way. Even Jason Kidd couldn't do it that way. The last one that I think was close was Nash, and he didn't win a title either.
No, he didn't.
So yeah, no, like playing that type of point guard. But again, Chris Paul's been that guy, and not everybody knows I'm not a big Chris Paul fan. I don't like guys that I know have a pattern of hitting people in the nuts, and Chris Paul does that. And I'm not a big James Harden fan because I'm not out here for insurance fraud. Because that's all James Harden is out here doing is playing basketball to get insurance fraud. If you're playing for fouls that way, that's how I look at it. You're out here trying to get people to rear end you on purpose.
Yeah. Wasn't Chris Paul traded to the Lakers?
Now? Oh no, I mean, at one point in his career, he was traded to the Lakers, and the NBA did some fuck shit and let him go to the Clippers instead. That happened.
I think it was just some rumors.
I know there's rumors that the Lakers are trying to trade for Chris Paul.
I'm like
And the
hearing
Knicks
all
are
these
trying- Knicks
rumors
are trying
about
to get
him.
Knicks are trying to get him.
And there's
Also, this is what they
somebody
can't
else
do.
that got traded to the Lakers.
Well, nobody can do anything until after the season. But I know that Chris Paul is trying to get it. The Lakers are trying to do it, which I don't want to happen because if Chris Paul goes to the Lakers, then Carmelo is going to the Lakers, and I think niggas need to let Carmelo go. That the whole idea is to get the banana boat trip thing going. Where like you remember the LeBron James banana boat trip where they had everybody on the picture,
No, yeah.
where the basically idea is they didn't get Melo, they're gonna get Chris Paul. If they get that 3 hit, small chance your boy comes out of retirement. And I think they'll get that whole team going, and I think they will lose really badly in the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs, but they're gonna look real old.
Yeah.
Think about it: Chris Paul, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and D Wade. Also, where the hell is Because D Wade would come out of retirement.
You don't think they would reach for Kyrie?
Then what? Kyrie's playing shooting guard,
Yeah.
and then where's D Wade playing? Small forward, and then LeBron. That means LeBron's center.
Hey. They're going to take chances. The Lakers are.
So, and that means
doubtful
Melo's
this
power
year.
forward, which I don't think Melo likes playing power forward. I don't think that's the thing. I don't think Kyrie likes playing shooting guard. I don't think Carmelo plays playing power forward. I know LeBron doesn't like me in the center, and I have no clue if D Wade I think will play whatever position you ask him to play, but I don't think he likes playing small forward either. Which he is not a small forward.
No, he's not.
Like you can argue that Carmelo should have transitioned into a power forward later in his career, and he refused to. That's on Melo. And LeBron can play any position on the floor. It's just I don't think his best skill set is being a center.
Yeah.
And then now that whole team's and that means Rondo's out. And that means Ball's out because Rondo was on the Lakers last year, and Lonzo Ball is apparently still on the Lakers.
If they're gonna get rid of him,
You got to.
Yes, let him go. Keep Kuzma, though. I would keep Kuzma. I would keep him.
I mean, I like Kuzma, and I like because Kuzma. Have you seen the stories about Kuzma recently?
No.
He's been out here trying to He's been hiring people to help him with his shot and his defense. He hired Ron Artest for his defense, and I know he hired another legend for helping him with his shooting. So he's out here practicing to try to get better. I respect that.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't think not all players do that. Some players, John Wall, hit the basketball season and just go partying and clubbing and stuff.
Lord. So great, but he could have been something.
I mean, he
John
got
Wall could've
John. You know what John Wall is? He's a legend at the bank. Because the Washington Wizards are paying him so much money, it's ridiculous. He got a max deal out of them. And then you know about Bradley Bill's contract.
Oh yeah.
So they got to give him a max deal too. Because Bradley, this is the problem: is John Wall has more notoriety name wise, but John Wall isn't many. John Wall and Bradley Bill are probably exactly the same skill set. We just don't know Bradley Bill's name, and the problem with that is Bradley Bill believes he deserves the same amount of money as John Wall. And guess
I
what
would
the
give it
Wizards?
to him.
And they got to. It's not even an option. They
I
got
would
to.
give it to him.
But that means they have no other room to do anything else. They got them to. They got a backcourt that can't win a title, and that's all they got.
Let him go.
They give you the 7 and 6 seed every year. They've turned themselves into the Hawks up until the year they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then they tore everything apart. The Hawks were that for 10 years. Hawks were making the Eastern Conference playoffs every year as an 8 or 7 seed and losing in the first rounds, and that's what the Washington Wizards are right now with John Wall and Bradley Beal. Washington Wizards are just gonna be out here losing in the first round. Maybe once in a blue moon they might get to the second round, and it's a sweep. But it's going to be a first round out every year as long as they got to pay John Wall and Bradley Beal what they do.
That is fair.
So how y'all? So you say you're going with Toronto on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm going with Toronto.
James, where you
I
at?
feel
I
like
think it's-
Toronto can do it.
It's a swing game.
You know.
Golden State wins.
Malachi's going Golden State. I'm going Golden State. I don't think they're going to lose the first game at home. And yeah, we'll go from there. I mean, again, this is closer than again. I don't know where. I don't know if Clay's going to play. I believe Clay plays.
If
They win.
Clay does not play, they lose this game.
Okay.
Livingston gonna ball out.
Oh yeah, he's on the skinny nigga Livingston. I forgot.
Livingston's gonna ball. They got replacements, bro.
But Livingston, if you watch game 1, Livingston got abused by Siakam. He got abused by Siakam. And just watch, the Raptors are going to be on fire just because they lost at home. They want to return the favor.
So all right. So yeah, like I said, that's how it's gonna be on that one. I guess I'm rolling with the Golden State Warriors. I'm rolling with E40 and Smash Mouth.
Okay.
No Drake.
Oh, Drake will be there. I just don't know where
E40
C2.
gonna be there though too.
Oh, Lord.
Mm.
E40, Snoop, all of them.
Ooh.
Yeah, period.
Yeah.
Water, baby.
That's funny.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get into a little bit of our overly unfiltered stuff before we get it out of here. If my internet kicks, if my internet doesn't kick, this is going to just be a general conversation. Might go just back into a general conversation. So is there anything else before? Because you were the guest of the show. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk with us about? You're always around watching us from the side. And I know you like getting your piece in. So what else is we've been talking about that you ain't get to get our full insight into?
Let's see. How well will the Steelers do this season? Where do you have them depicted at? If we can do a mock prediction.
Okay.
I mean, you're the real Steelers fan here, so go ahead.
Yeah, come on.
How well do I think? All right, we want to go out the. I mean, we going against. What's it? The West Coast division. So I think we could rock the 49ers. I think we could do the Seahawks, and I mean,
So we lose the first game. in
definitely gonna.
Foxborough.
Arizona's gonna get whooped. Who else is there? What's the other one?
They got that boy Kyler Murray though. We don't.
I ain't even
know
worried about
what
that.
he's
Come
gonna
on,
do.
for real.
Never
Is that the
know.
one game that we're gonna lose? Come on, you know. Like
No,
it was-
we're not losing that. We're
Okay,
not
so that's what
losing
I'm
that.
saying. Okay, I was like, we ain't losing that. Like it ain't happening.
But I would like to see the Steelers.
I think we could get
go
the
in
first
there
game, beat the
and win.
Patriots.
You have fun with that, James.
I think we're gonna wipe the. I think the Bengals. I don't think have a chance. I mean,
No,
I'm gonna need your phone because I'm not gonna. I got the stuff.
they
up.
lost.
Oh, you got
Marvin
that?
Lewis.
I want to answer his question first. I'm just gonna take your phone. I'm not gonna mess up the fact that I got my internet working.
What do you want to look at the schedule?
I'll give you. I'll give you.
Steelers.
Finish first place in the
Yeah.
division.
I'll give
We
you an
finished
honest
first
answer
place.
right now.
Browns don't pan out to be who they think they are.
You are who they thought they
Exactly.
were. They are who they
Exactly.
thought they were. They
We
were the
thought
Browns.
They were.
Exactly.
Not who they think they are.
Yeah.
We think they. Yeah.
You're
the
They're
Browns.
Browns. They might come in third.
I swear, media.
I can see them
Curses
coming second.
Tigers.
Third over.
Oh, you think
Certain media's cursed
Cincy?
teams.
You think Cincy's gonna do good?
You got everybody shouting for the Browns.
Oh, yeah.
They got
Oh, they're
this.
so
They got
awful.
that. They got this rookie running back. We got to see how everybody meshes together and play. they're not going to play well together. You're in the AFC North, one of the hardest divisions in football. You think you're going to win? No. The Browns will be the Browns.
Yeah, they're gonna be the Browns.
They're still going to be better than
I think they're gonna have 10 wins.
10 wins. 10. So who are the L's to? So obviously the LA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no, I
but
think they're gonna lose to both.
I got
I think
them
they're gonna, I think
losing
they're
to
gonna
LA.
lose to both LA teams. I think they're gonna lose to the
LA.
Chargers too. They play the Chargers.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Chargers.
they're gonna lose to the
Wow.
Chargers.
I have our numbers.
I honest to God believe they're gonna lose to the Patriots, and I think there's a chance they might lose to the Seahawks. But I'm gonna give them 1-1 out of the gate. But if they lose, this is the problem. They lose those first two games, they're gonna be a fucking panic. And I don't think there should be. I just think the opening part
You
of the
think we'll
schedule
lose
is
to the
extra hard.
Seahawks at a 1 o'clock game at home?
No.
Seahawks is one of the teams that don't really get bothered by that. And honestly, I think it's more overblown than I think it's a big thing to the teams that are bad from the West Coast. Like if you're a bad team from the West Coast, you're not here for the East Coast teams. If you're a good team from the West Coast, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
See, like the teams that are good, like the Chargers, the Rams, the Seahawks, they win East Coast games. I don't know about now. This is the game where I'm like,
49ers, that's a W.
you don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's fine. But the
If
man
we
was a
lose
high-
because of kicks. It was him. It was dude. What's his name?
also, I think there's a chance they get swept by the Ravens this year.
Ravens.
Yeah.
We gonna lose the
I
Ravens?
don't see
are
that
you for
happening.
real?
I see them splitting
Get
that.
out of here.
They're going to split it. I think they're going to split it.
You're funny.
The Bengals have no chance this year at all.
Robbie
They
Gould.
fired what's
Robbie
his
Gould.
Yeah.
Robbie Gould's.
They're in a rebuilding.
No, that was the Bengals.
Bengals,
Yeah.
I said the Ravens.
No, I'm talking about the Bengals.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, the Bengals. The Bengals.
They have no chance.
Sunshine now that they got rid of him finally.
They don't even know the Bengals coach is.
This don't matter.
Yeah.
He been coach too damn long.
All right, so
In fact, Bengals second place in the division.
Bengals second
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
What?
I swear it.
You just what? You
No
can't switch?
redemption Sunday for Le'Veon Bell when we play them.
No. That's a sleeper game for me too because I think the Jets are gonna be a lot better.
But
I think the
come
Jets are gonna be the
on.
best team in New York this year. That's not saying much, but I do think they'll be the best team in New York this year.
Better than the Bills.
See,
I think New York has a chance. New York will be second in the AFC East by the end of the year. I
you
it'll be
think
better.
so?
Put it down to the Bills.
I think they'll be better than the Bills, and I think the Dolphins are tanking on purpose. We already know that. I think the Jets will be the second team in the AFC East. I don't have any clue if they'll be.
Tell me like 3 receivers.
from the Jets.
Yeah.
Tell me 3 receivers from the Bills or the Dolphins. It's the same difference,
No one knows.
right? So I'm not. That doesn't like. I don't. You make it sound like I said they was gonna be better than the Patriots, and I did not say that. I said second in the AFC East, which is all they fighting for. It's at least until Tom Brady retires.
Yeah, 'cause
Second place. Well, or he gets injured.
So now we can get into the end of the show. I got the unfiltered stuff, overly unfiltered, and some just are unfiltered. First, motorist arrested for intentionally striking a man with her car at the post office because he said something rude to her when they were walking out the post office holding the door. She did not specify what. I don't know why, but she got mad enough to just try to run her over with the car. How do y'all feel about
That's
vehicular
funny.
manslaughter?
Yeah.
At least attempted.
Going postal.
Yeah, that's funny.
I just know, man.
she mailed that shot.
All right, so wait, hold up. Matt Barkley is the quarterback for the Bills? nah, because there's Frank Gore, Shady McCoy,
Shady's not going to be there by the season.
TJ Yeldon. I mean, receivers, they're all right.
I
Cole
think I don't think
Beasley,
LaShawn
Andre
McCoy's going to
Roberts.
be on Buffalo's main
You don't
roster.
think so?
No, I think he's going to get traded.
So what do you think he would be traded for?
Nothing that's gonna make the Bills better. It's Matt fucking Barkley. Like you really arguing me, Matt
I'm
Barkley?
just saying, like, they might Josh Allen,
I mean, he
whatever.
was good in USC
that was
in
like
college,
15 years ago.
Tyree Jackson.
but
I mean, somebody's gonna show up. I think this team could do it.
The Jets are way better than that.
Yeah.
And also, I think they still have Curse, and they have that one wide receiver that everybody liked towards the middle of the year last year. Even though I think he got a bad domestic situation.
just having Le'Veon Bell alone just makes them better.
Yeah, and again, Sam Darnold's better than Matt Barkley.
Yeah,
I don't like,
way better.
Also, Matt Barkley's not the Bills' quarterback. They got Josh Allen. Josh
Yeah.
Allen's the quarterback. Josh Allen's basically a better Tim Tebow. I don't think he's that great of a quarterback. Josh Allen broke the record for rushing yards for a running back. Josh Allen broke the record for rushing yards for a quarterback last year. in like
Wait,
3 or 4
for
games.
real?
For the first 6 games of his career or something. Like he did something like he was doing things that only Michael Vick had done before.
So he was just pretty much showing.
If his name was Jacquees Allen, we wouldn't be thinking that Josh Allen was going to be able to throw a ball.
Jacquees Allen. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, swear to God, we'd be treating him completely different if his name was Jacquees. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Y'all
Josh
know
Allen.
exactly what I mean if his name was Jacquees.
No, that's
So, like, Josh Allen to me, if we treated him how his stats look, y'all wouldn't be that geeked about him. Just letting y'all know. If y'all treated him how his stats look. His stats look like his name is Jacquees for some of y'all.
All right.
In other news, we got a big retirement out here. iTunes is heading into its final phase of retiring. Or not iTunes, yeah. Apple is in its final phase of retiring iTunes. It's been 18 years. 18 years. And they've long gone to leave your ass for the white girl, which is Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
So Apple Music will be taking on the full load. It's basically their streaming service. There's no reason for them. Basically, the idea of selling music at this point outside is basically just becoming obsolete. It's better to just be able to stream whatever music you want, and because iTunes is the selling of the albums and individual singles, it's I guess becoming an outdated thing. I stopped doing it about a year ago because I was buying music up until about a year ago, and then I finally hit up the Spotify and got out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean I see where we're at. And Apple have been planning this for a few years, and I think they delayed it. It was supposed to happen in March, and they delayed it a couple months. So change. Also, another news: Major League Soccer is trying to expand to 30 teams. They're already up to I think 28. I am telling you guys now that it most likely will not be Pittsburgh.
No.
Just because the Highmark Stadium is built in a terrible place and Heinz Field won't hold a soccer team. So
I think they should.
What?
Just hold a soccer team. It's big enough for a soccer, you know.
I don't think the field's safe for soccer. Like how the field's just like the field itself. I don't think for that many soccer games. Because I think the MLS season's like a lot longer. I think it would be like 15 home games.
They ain't using it after August.
September. The season ends in September.
Yeah, that's a big part. Too.
Does that really?
It's a lot smaller though. It's only like I don't think they need a 70,000 seat stadium for a soccer team in Pittsburgh. The Pirates, I think it's about 30. I think PNC Park's about 30. I think that would work. But Riverhounds have a because that's all they would do in soccer. All they would do is just promote the Riverhounds to an MLS team. They wouldn't make a new MLS team. They wouldn't let there be a minor league team and a regular MLS team.
Why wouldn't they?
Also,
Why we cancel Riverhouses?
Yeah.
because we put a lot of money into that dumbass stadium.
The
It can be
River
used for
Hounds.
some.
Convert that for the Lady Lingerie.
Yep. They have their.
Stop
They
acting like
want-
you on this wave, Mook.
The interviews do.
Like Mook always is now trying to hop on the wave. When back then he ain't want him. Now they hot on. Mike Jones.
There ain't no evidence.
Yes, there is. There's definitely evidence.
We'll see tomorrow. There won't be.
Oh.
Also,
Nothing
it's
won't
some
be
more
there.
overly unfiltered news. 50 went after Tony Yayo in a video the other day, asking Tony Yayo for some money back, and I think 50 kind of went too far on this one. It's even Yayo even said in the audio, like 50, like you was just giving me that money. You never told me I had to pay you back. And I swear to God, like I feel like when you the one, especially first thing, he's doing this to people that are employed by him. He did it to the dude from Power. Now, in all honesty, Yayo was signed to you. Nobody can tell me the name of any Tony Yayo albums. I'm telling you that right now.
Nah.
But he was signed to you.
He was.
I remember the first song. I remember the first song where 50 was like on the first verse, and Tony Yayo was in prison looking at the I think it was like a Vivica Fox poster or something. But yeah, no, I remember the very first song. I think it was like Seductive or something. That was it. But yeah, that's all I remember for Tony Yayo. I don't even remember Tony Yayo verses from G Unit albums.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. All I remember is this. All I remember.
The Black John Cena.
So he was going after Yayo about his money. And this is where you're going live on people and they don't know because it was a phone conversation that 50 was recording. And Yayo's like, I can't get you the money, but I could shoot somebody for you. I could point that thing at somebody for you. And that's why I'm like, hey, 50, you're putting people in risky situations. Because, yeah, I mean, no matter how we feel about Yayo and the music, Yayo's always been about that action. Let's keep it real. Like, that's what Yayo was in G Unit 4. That wasn't Banks' part. That wasn't Buck's part. That wasn't Game's part.
All right.
It was always, that was supposed to be what Yayo was here for.
All right, one album. Thoughts of a predicated felon.
What year did that come?
2005. No, if you want a collaborative album, Beg for Mercy with G Unit.
That doesn't count.
And
No, hey, that's about as much collaborative as Fleshbone and Eddie
Oh wow.
Bone Thugs album. Yeah, right.
yeah, right. They started putting their faces on the album.
Laugh my ass. That's Photoshop.
Some more overly unfiltered. Family cutting into graduation cake, shocked to discover it was made out of styrofoam.
Whoa.
Proud.
Pause.
Until he graduated.
So after it was a Walmart cake, which originally they ordered the cake. When they got to Walmart, they said the cake was not ever ordered or delivered. They never thought the cake was supposed to be made. So they gave them a free pick of any cake that was there. They picked the cake. They were supposed to put the stuff on it. They did all the decorating in front of them. Apparently, the cake that they picked was not a real cake.
They picked the display cake.
And people
And
didn't.
no one told them. That
Come
person
on.
smokes. That person smokes. Whoever didn't tell them was like,
And
"You want
apparently-
this one?
And apparently,
This one right
This
there.
one.
and
This
decorated the
one?
whole cake.
Okay.
He went right in the back, smoked, came back out like,
Decorated the whole
I don't
joint.
give a fuck.
I'll give
So-
it to you.
Real quick before I give y'all what the answer is, what do you think Walmart gave them in return for the mess up, the second mess up?
A new cake.
No, because that was already a ruined occasion.
No,
Brand
they
new
gave him-
TV.
No.
They gave him $10 gift card.
To the bakery only.
So it was a gift card. That was fucked up. It was a gift card. Malachi was wrong. Now I'll let y'all guess real quick the range of the gift card or how much it was.
Uh,
$5.
how much is one of them things? They're about like $8.
I got 100.
He was the closest. It was 60.
60.
They gave him a $60 gift card for the loss of the cake.
That's it.
I would have wanted more.
I'm not giving you nothing for something you picked. Period. You picked it.
It's a display cake.
You picked it.
You thought
That's
Walmart
what
had.
you wanted.
Picked it.
That's what you wanted.
Baltimore.
In fact, that salesman gets a
How much?
Oh,
how much
boy.
did they get cutting into? Like you should have known. Like this don't cut right.
I think it was the first cut,
It
James.
was the first cut. Definitely the first cut. You think they got it halfway done with the square?
Like they were just like licking off the like icy.
Where
Somebody
where
hit the
did you
corner.
Go? No. What?
What?
I didn't know that was a question, James. I'm sure. It's
When the whole
soon.
thing said, that's when they realized it was fake.
Hey.
James.
I
It's
don't
not
know
when
if
it
it was
was
like
like
a
air
soft.
to the plate or
Maybe it
nothing.
was a soft, piece of like foam or something. and
Well, no,
then,
because they
like,
decorated it so like if you, I'm sure like there was icing on the top.
Yeah,
of
they
it.
put,
I'm
like,
sure the knife
loaded-
still had to hit something before they realized. I'm sure it wasn't that much of a mystery.
Like I
When
can
it made
imagine.
noise when the cake made noise.
No, the only
Once
part
you
I
hear
hate
that.
is I think that they might have been able, like somebody might have hit the icing and like, oh, this is real icing.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was anything after the first cut.
No, it went to the floral shop foam shit. It
Right.
went, and the whole cake lifted up.
Oh.
You know how foam works.
Yeah.
Baltimore Mayor Young suggests boxing bouts to settle street beefs. So I'm hearing this more every week from like city mayors and cities talking about trying to organize legal fights for people to get their issues out the way.
Everybody wants to be a fighter. That's just going to cause more shootings. You're forcing someone who doesn't know how to fight.
Now, will it be televised or mediaized?
I don't think it should be televised.
It
I
should
feel like
be
this.
publicized.
You think it should be
It
publicized?
shouldn't.
Oh no, I think I would say I feel like you should be going to like your local courthouse and maybe doing like extra courthouse. Civil disputes where like one or two people.
Loser
Civil-
stays in the city. How about that? How about you go
So
fight
we're
at the
going back
courthouse?
to Roman Greek times.
You go fight in jail. The loser stays in.
Loser stays
If it-
in. Wait,
if it's
what?
That bad, y'all go fight down there and whoever don't.
Wait, why is the loser stay in jail?
Otherwise,
Why-
y'all both don't even fight.
Because
How about that?
y'all gotta believe that y'all.
Oh man, so
How
you
long
got
do you
people
stay in jail?
fighting for their freedom.
How long do you stay
Yeah,
in
what
jail?
was- wait,
I don't
wait,
know.
now you want to
For
know
a
how
fighting
long you stay in
charge.
jail?
I feel like it's only a couple days.
All right.
Aggravated assault.
So if you're
Like both of y'all saw each other. What?
but if your incident is that bold, if I feel like I got beef enough with you,
Yeah.
we gotta really fight, and it's that we gotta go down to the jail and fight, and
Okay.
whoever don't win stays in jail. We might not end up fighting because I might be like, it's really not that serious.
It's not. I don't really don't
That's
want
all
to.
I'm saying.
Knowing you, I feel like it would be if you decided to fight somebody.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure if the person who's instigating the fight is definitely gonna make sure it goes down. The other person might be like, But even then, it's a surprise you. After 2 or 3 surprise losses and you has been in jail for a couple times, you be like, I'm gonna stop fighting. This shit ain't really.
You get that Ruiz loss, and it's like, I think I was gonna take this one.
Yeah.
I'm in here for 30 days on some. My choice. You gonna stop fighting?
Look at
30 days.
look at my corner. Like, am I losing right now?
Yeah.
Am I losing
I
right
might
now?
lose this one.
I might
Last
lose
thing,
this one.
The positive
Help
part
me,
of the day
please.
before we go, we got Jay-Z is the first rap billionaire, and I got a breakdown of how it is. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start from the highest to the lowest. It is $310 million from Armady Brignac. I'm gonna need James to look that up.
Definitely the wrong way you spell it. Say
What?
that. That's definitely not the pronunciation of his.
ARMAND, and you can probably figure out the rest by the saving and Jay-Z. That's the most. He has $310 million out of that. General cash investments are $210 million. The other $100 million is Duce. That's 3. The alcohol. Another $100 million is Tidal. So after that, $75 million is Rock Nation. The other $75 million is his personal music catalog. Rock Nation would be all the other artists out there, like J. Cole and the young lady I'm forgetting the name of that. Yeah, Rihanna and stuff like that. And Wale's managed by them too. After that, we have a $70 million art collection. I'm keeping telling y'all for a minute. His art collection is more valuable than your cars. And $50 million in real estate. And that is
That's
$5
why
million crack.
it's a champagne or something, and this is why. Look how like fancy that bottle.
So his two of his
It's
top.
like that's like what $300 to $3,000 for a bottle. What the hell?
Damn.
That's what he
Oh,
goes.
that's the name of the Ace of Spades. Okay.
So
So yeah, so
where's yours?
two of his top three
Nowhere to be
investments
found.
are alcohol. Because the only thing that wasn't alcohol in the middle of that was
$300 for that bottle. 714 for another one.
5
400.
million from '88.
God damn.
Yeah.
It better
and
be
all in
fucking
total,
good.
he is a billionaire now. Again, people thought Dre was a billionaire, but Dre in his money was mixed up with Jimmy Iovine, which is no problem with that. But it's not all his. Where Jay-Z's money isn't.
Like owning a house and having a roommate.
Yeah, Dre has a roommate. Which again, I'm not knocking Dre for that, but Dre has a roommate. It's what it is. Jay-Z doesn't have a roommate. His room, he kicked his roommate out back in like 2003.
Yeah.
Go ask Dane.
Dang. Go ask Beans.
Ooh, that's it.
That's just.
She's still there.
Hey, Memphis always got a home. Memphis always say, hey man, you need a place, man. You got the basement. Don't wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wake up blue. You cool. But we about to get out of here. Again, always check us out. We'll be back on Thursday. DJ's on 18th. Yeah, DJ's on 18th. We'll be back on Thursday. We probably have another taste test coming through. Probably something that ain't what happened this week. Please go check out last week's show where Malachi has us chasing fish ass live on the show.
Oh, wow.
Please don't describe it that way.
Don't call it that.
That is not the way.
It was fish jerky.
Thank you.
It was just fish
It was
jerky.
Dried fish snacks.
Yeah, dry fish snacks. We'll call it. Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And that little foam shit.
And the foam rice
foam
cakes.
fake Walmart cake. That's what it was. We
Yep.
tasted the Walmart cake. We had that.
That sounds wild.
Sesame Walmart cake.
yeah.
That's what it was.
Don't go buy no cakes from Walmart.
No,
Might be foam.
Just patty pies
Put
over
your
here.
finger in it.
Put it all the way through.
And again, we'll be back on Thursday. But again, thank you again for our guests.
Oh, yes. Thank you for having me.
If you want to, because last week we figured out that not all our guests want people to be able to get a hold of them. Let them know how to find you on Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat if you want people to be able to look you up.
Oh, yeah, man. I'll be coming out soon with an EP, man. It's Marvell Jerome, man. You can find me on Facebook, IG, and Twitter, man. Just look my name up, man. Just look out for me, man.
And we also found out again that James apparently thinks that cutting styrofoam is different than everybody else. That's our.
I'm just saying they have the picture of him
Three
cutting out
slices
a
in.
whole fucking cut. He where the fuck is that?
That's all, folks. This is gonna be our out.
Yeah, we
James
out. I'm outta here.
rambling about how he thinks that we could cut a whole side. So you
Somebody
think,
cut a corner out of it.
So you think that somebody was like actually got to the point of eating? That's all we know. You
I don't
like,
know
you
about
cut-
eating it, but I'm just saying you cut a whole corner out. Somebody like first cut, you're like, oh,